Hi guys, my name is Tom Antos, and today I'm going to do another filmmaking tutorial. Let's just hope that this weather holds up, because otherwise we'll have to cut it short. Uh-oh. I'll just grab the umbrella just in case. Well, in case you didn't know, this is actually fake movie rain. And today's tutorial, though, it's actually about this machine. So I'm going to show you guys basically how to build do-it-yourself, affordable and easy to transport rain machine for your next film project. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it.
So I'm actually going to show you how I made two different rain machines. First one is this super cheap and easy one to make. Basically, I got this sprinkler and soaker hose. It's like this sort of a plastic nylon, whatever, garden hose, which has these tiny little holes in it. And then the next thing you'll need are these 3/4 of an inch copper clad clamps, which are actually meant for plumbing, and I call them plumbing pipes, but they're just basically good little breakers to make sure that the garden hose stays in its place. And then the last thing you'll need is actually just a piece of wood that you're gonna lay the hose, the sprinkler hose on. And so I used 4 pieces of wood, which were actually 1 inch by 4 inch. And then I used those copper clad, clamps to sort of basically clamp the garden hose here on the top. Now, as you'll notice, I do not tighten it all the way. I kind of leave a little bit of space there, because as the water, enters into the sprinkler hose, it's gonna obviously expand. So, if you over tighten this up here, it would not allow the water through. And then here at the end, I just, it comes with this little sort of like a tab that you put in case you want to shorten the sprinkler hose. So I do that, and then that's pretty much it. I just lay it on a piece of wood. Then I also actually end up just finding some scrap pieces of aluminum tubing, which is square. It's hollow inside, and I just use that to basically to kind of create this makeshift attachment that I can slide onto my light stands. Now these light stands, by the way, are not heavy-duty light stands, so I would recommend, if you have something that can hold up more weight, then I would recommend using those. And of course, my big thing is that I wanted to make sure that I can separate the rain machine in the middle, so that since this one's around 15 feet long, this way it basically allowed me to sort of fold it and put it in my car and actually transport it. So more or less in the middle, I did this sort of a little like these 2 pieces that kind of slide on top of each other. And then I just use, this is actually a lighting clamp, but you can use any hardware clamp to basically just clamp those 2 pieces together. And then on the end where you hook up the garden hose, I just use some tape to make sure the garden hose would stay in place, because the actual sprinkler, garden soaker is actually very, very delicate, like piece of plastic, so it could rip if you just put all that weight on it. And then I just used some spare garden hose that I had, and connected to it this it's like a garden hose valve, which just simply allowed me to turn on and off the water without having to each time go to the to the back of the house, basically where the water was connected. So I turn it on, and this is how the final machine looks. As you can see, it sprays actually mainly up into the air, but the kind of sprays a little bit to each side. So by the time the water falls, it actually covers a pretty large area. And next, I'm going to show you guys how I created this other, a little bit more elaborate and more sturdy rain machine out of PVC pipes. And the reason why I did it is because I wanted also more control over where and how the water sprayed, and also just something more durable. The problem with using this cheap, garden sprinkler hose is that it's just the piece of plastic that it's made out of can tear very easily. And while I was folding it once and putting it in my car, I ripped it in half. So I had to buy another sprinkler hose, which they're not expensive, but still, it's just I wanted to have something that I can use on a feature film that I will be doing this year about vampires. And there's a lot of scenes in there where at night with the rain. So I figured something more durable is going to serve me better. So
I've already sort of did a little bit of tests out there, and I've seen some people online recommending to use half-inch PVC pipe. I actually just after my little test, I realized that pipe is just so flexible that it's not going to be sturdy enough, basically, especially once if I want to make a longer rain machine. So I'm going to be actually using 3/4 of an inch PVC pipe. I bought two 10 feet pieces, and I just had them cut in half in my hardware store. This way just avoided a little bit extra work in there. So I result in 4 pieces, which are each 5 feet long. This way I'm going to end up with a rain machine that's around 20 feet long, but I'm also going to do it so that it detaches in half, so that I can sort of separate these two 10 feet pieces and actually fit it in a car when transporting this. And also I'm going to do it so that in case I don't need such a long rain machine, then like I said, I can use 10 feet, and then whenever I need to sort of spray a bigger area, then I'm going to use the 20 feet version. All right, so let's get started. Here on the table I've laid out all of the parts that I'm going to be needing for this rain machine, and altogether I paid for this it's going to be around $70 to $80 depending on what store you buy this in, and and where you live. The prices might differ. Also, for just as tools, I'm going to need a wrench and a saw up here, and otherwise let's just sort of go through all the parts so you guys can see what you need to get. First, you're going to need some PVC cement, so we can glue all the parts together. Also some plumber's tape. Next we have these sprinkler head extenders. These ones are 1.5 inches. Then we have 4 sprinklers, and I have 2 different ones. These ones here are the ones that kind of spray more in like a rectangular kind of pattern, so more to the sides. And then I have 2 up here that's spraying a circular pattern. Then I also have 4 of these T-shapes. These ones are again, they can fit 3/4 of an inch PVC pipe on one end and on the other. And on here on the top you have basically a thread that allows you to screw in a sprinkler or a sprinkler over here extender. Then I also have a 3/4 of an inch PVC pipe end cap. Another thing I got are these 3/4 of an inch PVC pipe extenders, or kind of like threads, both a male and a female over there, and then also an end cap for it in case I decide to close it. And I also have a 3/4 of an inch to a garden hose, basically adapter, and I have two different ones, one with a valve and one without it, so we'll see which one works better.
So first you're gonna have to cut the PVC pipe. I cut 2 pieces which were 2.5 feet long. Then I cut 3 pieces that were 2 feet long, and then 3 pieces that were 3 feet long. Then I used some PVC cement, and the way you apply the cement is you're gonna apply it to both pieces. So I glued those T-shaped brackets to attach 2 of the pieces of the pipe together. And then once you have the glue on both parts, you sort of slide it in. Give it a few minutes to let it sort of dry up, then do the other side. And once I had the T-shaped bracket in between the 2 pipes, I take the sprinkler head extenders, I apply some plumber's tape to the thread, and then you just thread it into the top of the T bracket. You can use a wrench to sort of tighten it a bit further. Then you apply some more tape to the other side of the thread, and then you just screw on the sprinkler heads. And you kind of repeat that for each one of your sprinkler heads, so you kind of end up with these sprinkler heads that point all in the same direction. And here's how my finished machine looks. So as you can see, I have the hose there on the right side, and then you use the hose adapter to PVC pipe, their connections. I can attach the hose. Then I have the first sprinkler head. Then I attach the second one there. And you'll notice here in the middle I put a piece of wood, and that's because it still turned out that the 3/4 of an inch PVC pipe was still too flexible. In the final design though, I actually ended up replacing the piece of wood with something very light and a lot more sturdy, which was actually an aluminum piece of tubing. And I just put it just in the middle section, just use some tape to sort of make the whole rain machine a little bit more rigid. You also notice here in the middle I have that joint, which is basically meant for separating the rain machine into 2 pieces, which allows me to then fold it and transport it easily in a car. At the end I just put the end cap here, and then I used just some piece of wire from a coat hanger to sort of attach the both ends of the rain machine and put it on some of these basically 2.5 feet long pieces of PVC pipe, which I sort of like carved out a little bit on the top to create a little bit of like this sort of a seating, so that the pipe sort of would sit snugly there in the middle of it. And then just like with the other rain machine, I used the hose valve to turn on the rain machine. It kind of goes nicely in both directions, and this one doesn't go up so much as it goes more to the sides, so it actually covers a bigger area. Now if you want to see the final dimensions, sort of where I placed all the parts, then first I put those 2.5 feet pieces of PVC pipe, and I use them sort of as my light stand adapters, so you see them there on the sides. Then from the left, I put that garden hose adapter to PVC pipe. Then I put a 2 feet of PVC pipe. Then I put one of the T-brackets with the sprinkler. This one is the one that sprays in a sort of a square pattern. Then I put a 3 feet of PVC pipe. Then another sprinkler head. This one's the one that sprays in the circular pattern. Then another 3 foot PVC pipe. Another round sprinkler head. Then another 2 feet of PVC pipe, and in there, after that, I put in the PVC pipe kind of a joint that I created. Then I put another 2 feet of PVC pipe, then one more sprinkler head there, which is the one that sprays in the square pattern, and then at the end I put a sort of a longer 3 feet piece of PVC pipe. And this way, when you sort of look at it here in the diagram, by placing the sprinkler heads sort of by having the ones that spray in a round pattern in the middle, and then the ones that spray in a square pattern on the sides, what that does is it really sort of maximizes the area where those sprinklers spray, but also it stops or minimizes them from spraying it outside of basically where the light stands are, because there's really no point of me spraying that area, getting the light stands more wet, plus also just getting any sort of equipment there that I might want to place wet, since I know I'm not going to be filming there because the light stands are in the way. And then just put up the light stands and put up as high as you can. As you can see, these light stands are kind of flimsy, but they still do the job. Turn on the water. This is pretty much our final effect. Now obviously you got to place the camera correctly and adjust the camera settings so the rain is nice and visible. So one tip I'll give you is that if you want the rain to be visible on camera, as you can see right now, you can't really see the rain there, over the car. You really want to have either a dark background, so it's really going to contrast the rain, because rain is water, meaning it's going to have sort of usually it's going to catch some light, and it's going to have a lighter tone to it. So as you can see here, when the wide shot of the car, when you're looking against the black tires there, or that the front black grille of the car, that's where you can see the rain more than against the trees, or especially against a gray car, you can't really see the rain. Now another thing to do, if you want to sort of maximize the visibility of the rain, is to add a light and sort of backlight the rain. So from any angle, from the left or right side of the camera, as long as I have sort of a light pointing almost straight into the camera and lighting that rain, it's going to just make that rain a little bit more visible, because those rain droplets are going to catch that light and going to reflect it. So here on the right side of the camera, I have a light that I turn on, and you can see right away that the rain on the right side now is more visible there against the trees. Now this wasn't a very strong light, so the stronger light you have, if you're filming during the day, the better. That's why on big budget films, when they're shooting rain scenes, they have those huge 10,000 watt HMI lights. Now if you're shooting obviously a scene at night, like I'm going to be doing for my feature film, then it's no problem. You can use weaker lights. And here's actually a little scene that I did with the car and the rain machine. And as you can see, it can be quite dangerous driving at night in the middle of a storm. If this is actually a little scene that I did for my Lighting Dozen tutorial series, which is a new product that I'm selling on my website. If you guys are interested, it's basically 12 different lighting setups for music videos, films, all kinds of video and film productions. And I show you step by step how I place the lights, the camera, what camera I use, lenses, camera settings, and even the color correction. So if you're interested, just go to my website at tomatosfilms.com and you can check that out along with my other products.
So definitely, if you guys are doing a film or maybe even a music video, and you're thinking of adding a sexy rain scene where you wet the ladies down, working with the rain machine is a lot easier than relying on Mother Nature. For one thing, you can make the rain start or stop with the snap of your fingers. And aside from the timing, you can also control, the area where the rain actually hits, which makes it a lot easier for your crew and the camera and your lights. So you can just basically leave it all just outside of the reach of the rain. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. As always, for all the details, check out my website at tomatosfilms.com, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.